Hey folks, welcome back to another First Impressions video. Going to do two games for you today. The first one is a game that I played at the Gathering last week, and that was a game called Paladins of the West Kingdom. Now, as you've known, or maybe you've picked up along the way, that we here at the studio, we really enjoyed this entire line of games, I guess you could say, from Garfield. Raiders of the North Sea, Shipwrights of the North Sea, all of these games, at some level, they've been enjoyed by us. Architects of the West Kingdom was also enjoyed. So this is the next one in that series, or that line of games, and it's called Paladins of the West Kingdom. And I was able to play it. I was really excited to play it, as a matter of fact, because I did like Architects of the West Kingdom so much. And so when we got this to the table, first of all, it was a sprawling game, and you had your own board, and the own board was huge by comparison to other games. And you had a whole lot of components on it. That put me off right at the beginning, and the reason is because I kind of got the idea right at the beginning of the game that this was going to be a really kind of a solitaire-ish type experience where I'm going to be playing my own game, running my own engine, everybody else is going to be doing their own thing, and there's going to be a little bit of interaction in the middle of the board on some type of thing. And that's exactly what it was. And it really did feel, unfortunately, like it was a three-player game, and it really felt like the three of us were playing our own little game, and every once in a while we would run into a little bit of interaction here on the center board where you're placing down different things and trying to get different bonuses, and oh man, somebody already got that one. Okay, we'll have to do something else, and that kind of thing. And that's the only interaction, and that was really kind of a disappointment for me. I do think that the game is good, though. Don't get me wrong. The game is very well designed. There's so many different moving parts, and they all work together very well. It just wasn't my style of game, and that's my first impression. I want to play it again to see if it kind of rights itself a little bit or something like that. Maybe I was just expecting the wrong thing, and they gave me this very heavy or heavier solitaire-ish style game that I play at the table with two or three other people. Well, I don't know. My first impression is I didn't like it very much just because it's not my kind of game. Not because it's a bad game. It just wasn't my kind of game. But I do want to try it again to see if it kind of comes out even keel a little bit. But I'll let you know when that happens. The second game I want to talk about is a game that we played on camera on Tuesday for Testing Tuesday, and that is Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth. Now, this is a 1 to 4 player game where you are basically going through a app-driven experience. Now, it calls it a companion app, but it really is a little bit more than that because you need the app to kind of play the game. It does a lot of the accounting for you, keeping track of hit points that the monsters have, and all of those kinds of different things. So it really is much, well, I wouldn't say much, it's a lot more maybe than a companion app, but that's okay with me. I like the integration. It has a very Mansions of Madness feel to it as far as that's concerned, the second edition, where the app really kind of takes over not really the flow of the game, but I guess you could say that because it keeps track of a lot of different things for you, and it keeps the game moving along at a pretty good clip. This one is very much the same because it keeps track of all of the different things that you're doing. It keeps track of even things in the background that you don't have to worry about until the end of your scenario or campaign or whatever you want to talk about when you're leveling up to go to the next part of the story. So that's cool as well. First of all, as I said earlier, it has a very Mansions of Madness second edition feel to it, and I would just restate that because this is, or at least it very much felt like that with the Lord of the Rings theme just kind of slathered on, and I don't mean just pasted on. I mean it's like there in spades. And so it's my first impressions of the game are, first of all, one, the theme, they knocked it out of the park. Although there were a couple of strange things in there that some of the character stats we really didn't kind of understand why the stats were so low. Probably had something to do with balancing the gamers. I have no idea, but it just didn't seem right. Drawing cards for successes, I'm not sure I'm very fond of that mechanic. because you have to draw the same number of cards, no matter if you've already succeeded or not. And that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because I wasted, I guess you could say, a lot of successes, because I got what I needed in the first couple of draws, and then I had to draw 2 more cards, and, well, there was a success there. Now, I was playing Gimli, and he allowed you to take, if you were attacking, he allowed you to take one of those successes and put it back on top of your deck. So that kind of mitigated that feeling a little bit. But if I'm not playing Gimli, then that's going to really bother me, because you're wasting successes when you don't have to anymore. So I don't know if I like that or not. I guess it's not that too dissimilar from rolling dice and getting more successes that you need. But the thing with rolling dice is you can do that again, and right in a row. And you're not able to do that with this whole card drawing thing that they have going on in it. As far as how the gameplay is concerned, I thought it was fine. But while this could have been attributed to the first time we played the game, with it being the first time we played the game, it had a lot of points where it kind of slowed down. And if the group was separated and they were off doing their thing, the one person just kind of sitting there doing nothing for a good part of the turn of the action round. So that kind of wore on me a little bit. My first impressions, though, are that I simply want to play it again. Now, I want to play it again because I really do enjoy the Lord of the Rings theme. I always have, and I always will. A second reason is I want to see how some of those things flesh out after we already know how to play the game now, and to see if it does kind of pick up, or if it still kind of bogs down in certain points of the game. So I definitely want to play it again. I did not dislike it. I'll put it that way. I did enjoy the experience a lot, but I have some concerns about some of the mechanisms, so I want to try it again. So that's my first impression. I did enjoy it. I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to love this game, and absolutely is worthy of it. So that's it. So that's my first impressions for Paladins of the West Kingdom and the Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth. Hopefully you enjoyed that. And again, please understand that these are not final verdicts or anything like that for these 2 games. It's just my first impressions, and I want to get them back to the table to see how they play the second, maybe even the third time around. So that's it for me. Well, thank you for joining. I certainly appreciate it, and we'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care now.